I am learning that the church is at its best when it gives itself away. And this is because blessing is always instrumental. Let me explain. In Genesis 12, God tells a man named Abram that he's going to bless him, and through him, he's going to bless the whole world. This is the birth of the Jewish people whom God wants to use to reach everybody. This blessing is instrumental in nature. God wants to use Abraham to flow through him, to have him be the conduit through whom God can bless everybody else. Abraham is just a vessel. God doesn't choose people just so they'll feel good about themselves or secure in their standing with God or whatever else. God chooses people to be used to bless other people. Elected, predestined, chosen, whatever words people use for this reality, the point is never the person elected or chosen or predestined. The point is that person serving others, making their lives better. The second significant idea in Genesis 12 is that Abraham's calling is universal. It is for everybody. All kinds of people all over the place are going to be blessed by God through Abram. God has no boundaries. God blesses everybody. People who don't believe in God, people who are opposed to God, people who do violent, evil things. God's intentions are to bless everybody. Jesus continues this idea in many of his teachings. In the book of Luke, he says, "I am among you as one who serves." He not only refers to himself as a servant sent to serve others, but he teaches his disciples that the greatest in his kingdom are the ones who serve. For Jesus, everything is upside down. The best and greatest and most important are the ones who humble themselves, set their needs and desires aside, and selflessly serve others. So what is a group of people living this way called? That's the church. The church doesn't exist for itself. It exists to serve the world. It is not ultimately about the church. It is about all the people God wants to bless through the church. When the church loses sight of this, it loses its heart. This is especially true today in the world we live in, where so many people are hostile to the church, many for good reason. We reclaim the church as a blessing machine, not only because this is what Jesus intended from the beginning, but also because serving people is the only way their perceptions of church are ever going to change. This is why it's so toxic for the gospel when Christians picket and boycott and complain about how bad the world is. This behavior doesn't help. It makes things worse. It isn't the kind of voice Jesus wants his followers to have in the world. Why blame the dark for being dark? It is far more helpful to ask why the light isn't as bright as it could be.